that he needs to start taking my advice, that he was sorry, that he loved me. You can see from the post that he's recently posted on Facebook that we had gotten past all of that stuff. I would never cheat on him. It's just not who I am. You know?
Well, let's go back to Isaac for a minute. So, you never had a relationship with Isaac, but do you think that he might have thought there was something there? Did he seem inappropriate with you in any way?
Yes, but I told my husband, and every time he would try to, again, you can look at my phone, there were probably 2 or 3 different names he tried to use to friend request me.
Really?
But
Is that what you mean? Because we talked the other day, you said he seemed obsessed, Isaac seemed obsessed, adored you.
Well, I just felt like he kept trying to reach out to me. He would come up with different names to friend request. One time, my husband was actually going to go over there to confront him. And then one time, we saw him at Muddy's, which, was like, that's weird, he's never been here before. We go to Muddy's every day, and we had never seen him there ever. And Milton was really upset about it, and was angry, and, he told me afterwards that he was sorry for being upset with me, that it's not my fault. There's customers, I think I told him that there's this guy that came in a few weeks ago, that when my husband left for the post office, I stayed on the phone the whole time because he was like, you really draw men in. And just was like, that's what you need to do, sure. It was just really inappropriate. He came back a few days, I think Monday this week, and it made me nervous. I called Milton into the office. I went into the office and called him in there. And I said, that's that guy again. And he said, it's okay, I just stayed in the office. But the guy kept hanging around right where he could see the door and just kept staring at me like this. Unfortunately, I deal with a lot of that, unfortunately. And it's always been an issue, but we've always gotten past it. He was always admitted he's very insecure. He's always admitted, which you can ask his friends, that he was always worried that I would do something like that, which I wouldn't.
Was business good, or how were you guys' finances?
Right now, it's pretty good. Just to give you an example, I can for some reason get incoming calls, but Milton handled all the bills. Milton handled everything. Milton handled all the money. I never, and this isn't a negative thing, I don't want it to be taken this way, but
right, it's like they talked to me or some shit. I said I gotta run the ball.
So I never had money. If I needed something, I would ask him. But the thing is, because of his insecurity, I was never not with him, ever, to have an affair. He didn't let me go to the grocery store that way. I haven't driven in months because that whole incident at the beach. I haven't been able to be home with my kids until he comes home. I have to stay with him all the time. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I didn't mind doing that because I love my husband. And if it made him feel better that I was there all the time so he could know that I loved him, then that was fine. I said to him, not too long ago, was I have less freedom than the maximum security prison. And he said, I'm sorry that I'm so insecure, I'm really trying. And I said, it's okay.
Got me running unnecessary plays because you want to do your own thing. The hole right there in front of you, bro. Run straight. Everybody blocked out, did their job. Run straight. You getting tackled for what? Because you want me to throw the ball?
So, essentially, whatever was in the safe or was at the house was all the cash that you guys had liquid. Okay.
Literally Milton busted his ass every day to make sure everybody was taken care of. And yes, our children are mostly grown, and most people would say maybe they should be paying their own bills, but we pay their insurance, we pay their phone bills.
Let's go back to the day. All right, let's just do the time you woke up until everything happened.
The only thing I can remember is
Like when you
basically
woke
from
up.
going to dinner.
Okay.
Okay, we eat dinner at Tony's. After that, we went to Ollie's.
Okay.
Because we've been trying to find extra long twin sheets for the girls because we got a phone call from Dylan. And we were waiting in the Harvest parking lot for a minute. And then they pulled up.
You have any idea what time that was?
8:30, something like that. Then, like I said, I was upset. And I went into the bathroom and I was crying. And if you want, I can pull up the text that my husband sent.
I think when I looked at your phone last week, I think I looked at it.
Basically said I'd take my advice.
Come on, man.
When you got home and you were upset, did you guys have any like conversation to like rectify?
Oh yeah, everything was fine.
Okay, so like how much?
He sent that text, he said he was sorry.
Yeah.
We were, we made love.
Okay.
We were fine. I mean, I came to bed and we was, we were very affectionate with one another. And yeah, I didn't even have clothes on when this man.
Okay. And the reason that I was asking is that we were trying our best to narrow down like the timeline, for like other, like there's surveillance cameras and things like that people may be coming and going.
Our relationship, I only say this so you understand, had gotten so great and was so good that I was joking with him because we literally made love every morning and night, everything, for the last few months. And he always made the joke, are you sure? I mean, you must be getting tired of me. Like, no, I'm not. I mean, our relationship was good. Well, all I keep thinking is, what if I would have pushed the guy down? What if I could have done something?
That's completely normal.
I don't know, I feel guilty being alive, and that's why I won't eat or drink, because maybe you can't eat or drink, I don't want to. I know I have to be strong for my kids, but I just don't feel like I can. I just want to be with him.
I know you had a lot of jewelry. Do you think that you would know, like, if it was yours or not?
He always chose to give me unique pieces.
Okay.
I do have a lot of unique pieces.
Mm. She actually told us about the key by the little planner table.
Yeah, that's where we leave it. I
Okay,
know,
but
it's
like, do
crazy.
you have your own key, or is that how you get in?
That's how we get in.
Okay.
I know it's weird, but we have so many kids and in and out, and we just, I don't know, I chose that key because it blended with it, but every time we would give the kids keys, they would lose them, or we would put it under the mat and they would forget to put it back, and so we just finally just left it there. And I asked Tori if she locked it, and she doesn't remember. And I don't want her to feel guilty for it. I don't want her to stress that it's her fault.
In my experience level, I feel that the person that did it had at least like looked into the door before, because normal people.
AK-41 gonna win that foot race every single time. It ain't even a question. He can't guard him. He's gonna outrun him, and I'm gonna just outthrow where they can run. He gonna catch it. Touchdown.
Whoever did it went to the back door.
She said I'm gonna get my stuff and go stay at my friend's in Houston. I said, "Are you sure?" Because I knew she was tired and she had a long day. And she said, "Well, I guess it's easier to get to work in the morning since we're commuting." Thank God that she was with me.
Do you remember? And this is a really specific question, but do you remember how many episodes before or after she left? Like, you remember kind of where you were at in your timeline of leading up to when everything
I
happened?
know we were in the middle of one.
Okay.
I would say we watched 3, so 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. Yeah, so if she would have been there at 10:40, we would have been probably in the second one. And
Okay.
watched the third one. We usually watch TV till 1:30. That's a typical day with us.
When you decided to get up and get a drink and snack, let's start there.
Milton's side table's here, as you know.
Which
in
side
our
of the
bed.
bed did you sleep on?
Right there.
But he was closest to the bedroom.
So, probably can't stand him really weak. Yeah, the door, that table I got my head to sit on, in the bed.
Okay.
Milton slept here, and I slept on that side.
Okay.
I had my hand on the door. And I said, "Let me go get us a snack and a drink." I said, "What do you want?" As I started to open it. Well, came towards me, and he was there. Started screaming. All I saw was the gun. He had the gun right in my face. Get on the floor, effing bitch, blah blah blah. And he kept pointing the gun, saying, "I said get on the floor." And Milton was like, "I'm just getting on the floor." And I said, "I just want to put a shirt on." I was afraid if I was naked that maybe he would me, and I was scared, so I just wanted to put a shirt on. So I put Milton's shirt on, and then I immediately laid right there on the floor by that chair. And Milton cooperated. He got on the floor as well. And I couldn't see what was happening other than I was crying and I was begging him to stop, and he just kept telling me to shut that up, shut that up. I mean, he cussed a lot. I mean, he just mostly that's what he said. The F word, called me a baby. I mean, I don't cuss a lot, so it's hard for me to say all those words. He picked Milton up first. I don't know how, or if he was partly taped. I don't understand. I don't know how it logistically moved into the bathroom, but he did get to the bathroom.
What was Milton taped before you?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see how it happened?
No, like I said, I was laying on the ground by that chair. Milton, he had him on the ground right next to the bed in front of the door. I don't know if he just taped his hands. I don't know what he taped, but I could hear it. And then he took him to the bathroom first and put him on the floor. And then
How'd you get into the bathroom? Did you order him to the bathroom?
that's what I don't know. That part's still vague as to how he got to the bathroom. I mean, I know I could hear the tape, but Milton's a pretty big man. I mean, I don't know if how he would have gotten there. In the bathroom, he was on top of Milton. And I remember because I was next to the tub, and I kept saying, "Get off of him, get off of him," and he kept pointing the gun and saying, "Shut the fuck, I'll shoot you, I swear to God, I'll shoot you, I'll shoot him." I don't know if he was on top of him because he was taping his feet, but I just know Milton was face down. It was dark. He never turned any lights on, I guess for obvious reasons. The only light was because the TV episode, when it's waiting, and so it would, the TV made a noise. It made it sound like a person, obviously. And he immediately panicked, I think, because he was like, "I thought you said you were kids here, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill them. Where are they? Is there kids upstairs?" And he just kept, and he left the bathroom for a second. So I was trying to go over to Milton, but then he came back, and then that's when he taped my hands. And he grabbed me by the hair, drug me into the room. He was out there going through stuff, and he couldn't find the jewelry. And I know Milton had already given him the keys, I think, told him where they were anyways. When he was taping Milton up, and when I was laying down over here, he kept saying, "You're the Elizabeth City gold buyer, you're the big gold buyer." I know, and just kept saying stuff about Elizabeth City gold buyer. And on our Facebook and stuff, it's almost like he was quoting, like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems, I don't know, maybe it's just coincidental. Maybe he just has been in the shop, which I think he has, because he kept yelling to me, "I know you got a lot of jewelry, I've seen all the jewelry you wear, I don't, where is it?" He couldn't find it. I don't have a typical jewelry box. It's a lingerie cabinet, but it's full of jewelry, as you know, you've seen it. So when he drug me in there, I basically said, "It's right there." And then that's when he hit me and I went down.
How did he hit you?
I felt this huge, I don't know what it was, but my whole ear just started ringing, and I just went down. And I don't remember much until, I don't know if I went out or if it just, I don't know, just stunned me. It was ringing a lot. It was like, excruciating. I was trying to get up because I guess I was in my mind thinking I would call for help. And that's when he came back and again pulled my hand and pushed me down, and I hit my head on the table, and I could just feel my eye filling up with the blood just because head wounds, and just I could feel it. So I thought, I'm just gonna lay here because maybe if we just cooperated. I couldn't hear Milton struggling anymore. And it was freaking me out. I didn't know if he was cooperating or if he was, I don't know. And I just lay there. I don't know if the guy just thought I was fucking me out. I don't know. He was freaking out. I dropped my phone. Would you? No, I'm gonna get caught doing this. Grab on my phone. I was laying like this, and I could see his phone was right there. So I took it and just pushed it, just so it would be where he could see it, just so he would leave.
Oh, gotcha.
And then he said, "Thank God." And he picked it up, and then that's when I heard, and I guess he left. I went into Milton. My hands were still tied, and then I went back in there where Milton was, and I couldn't. He wouldn't answer. And I, was hitting it and was trying to move him with my head and trying to move and trying to get one of my hands out. I threw up a little bit because I was freaked out, I guess. And then I just went down the street. It was a few doors down, and the whole time I was struggling to get one hand out just so I could knock on the door. And by the time I had gotten to his door, I was able to free this hand. I didn't take anything off of this hand because in my mind I was thinking, we might need it. We might need it. That's all I kept saying. I was screaming. I went to my next door neighbor, and I knew they had a dog. I thought maybe a dog will wake somebody up. So I just kept ringing the bell, screaming, begging for help. He came to the door, and then he came on.
Describe the guy.
As soon as that linebacker moved, y'all knew exactly where I was going with the ball.
That sounds weird to say, but when I opened the door, I would say he was not as tall as Milton. He had a mask on. He was wearing all black.
What kind of mask? Like a ski mask? Like a Halloween mask?
I just remember I couldn't see him.
Wasn't no one read take
Like
off.
a mask,
I won a national
like
championship.
mouth hole and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't no one
read
read
white
take
and
off.
black.
Okay.
I went 8th overall.
It was so
Come on
dark.
now.
And the door and then everything, I never really, other than as far as being face to face with him, the
The
only
Saints
time
needed
was
they guy
when
and they got me.
I opened the door and he was right there.
Did you see if he had gloves on?
It looked like medical gloves.
When
And if you
he
go
was
back and
kinda
look at my college
ransacking
stats, I
going
wasn't even
throughout the
rushing
house
the
where you
ball
were
like
talking to each other.
I couldn't get Milton to answer. And the only thing Milton would say was, honey, just calm down, just calm down. We're just gonna cooperate, we're just gonna get up. When I freaked out was that, when I
Get
was
this
in
man
that
to
room,
100.
I heard them wrestling, I could hear stuff breaking.
Did you
And
check for a pulse?
Where'd Timmy go?
my hands were still tied at that point. I didn't get them one hand loose until probably right before.
Give Timmy some more touches.
I was really having a hard time. It was really tight. I kept putting my head on his face, trying to nudge him, so to speak. And I laid my head on his body and was trying to listen,
Full to the left.
but I couldn't hear anything, and then I threw up a little bit. He kept putting the gun right in my face,
I forgot to
telling me
flip.
to shut up, and I was trying to talk to him. And I was begging him to please get off of him. I remember saying that, please get off of him, please get off of him. Because I didn't know if he was killing him. I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know why he was on top of him.
You holding up all right?
Okay.
I know we asked you a lot, and how'd you go through all that stuff?
That helps catch up with you leaders.
And that's all we're trying to do. I know we got just a couple more questions for you, and if I make you feel better, we're not going to go back down.
There we go. Get up there and get
So
that
I
mark.
need to go to the
Say, Chris, I can do it too.
shop.
I can do it too, Chris.
If you need anything, when you see it, sir, if you need anything.
You say I can do it too, Chris. Great ball. Arch, great ball.
To see who's been in there.
Yes, I'm saying you can come with me. My briefcase is in there, I hope.
They were trying to be careful with the tape, because that stuff we probably want to send to the lab. Did you lose any of the tape? Did any tape fall off of you, do you know of? Or?
On my hands.
Do you remember? Or?
I don't remember, I just know that they took it off when I was at the neighbors.
Okay. When you were checking on Milton, you were still taped behind your back?
Yeah. I mean, I would have been like this, and then I was trying to get it loose. I don't think I got it loose until later, but I remember leaning on him like this, and I remember throwing up. I still had the tape on. I remember trying to nudge his body,
And when you left the house, did you go out the front door or the back door?
the door that was wide open, which was the back door. It may have been that I got it loose to get up. I honestly don't remember that part.
And do you remember it like ripping when you got your hands loose? Did you maybe slip a
I
hand
just
through?
kept
You
twisting.
just
I
kept
mean,
twisting
and
loose?
just trying to twist it. I just remember, and I don't remember if it was still while I was with him or if it was. I just remember I had gotten one loose. The whole time I was working at trying to get one hand loose. The whole time, just because I assumed my phone was still there because I wouldn't remember that it was in the car. And I also have a watch, an iWatch, and so was trying to find that, but I don't, someone had said it was at the end of the bed. I don't know why you wouldn't have taken that. Maybe you want
Fuck
somebody
the
to
fake, get the
try to-
ball out, bro.
That's what
Fuck the fake, get the ball out, bro.
Yeah,
The
I
out
try to
wide
call them
open.
if I think of anything or anyone that might be suspicious.
The guy's voice, it sounded like a white guy. Did he sound at all familiar?
Yeah, and that's why I keep going through my head. I feel like I would have recognized Dylan's voice if it was them. I mean, I know it could be just someone else, but I mean, I feel like I would have. But there's so many people that come in that shop. I mean, if you had a lineup and I couldn't see them, but I could hear their voice, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what I need, I will do anything. I just want this person to be found. I mean, I might recognize it. One time, someone brought in a ring, and they said, "This is my son's class ring. I want to sell it." It had my son's engraving in it, Aaron Thomas Kessinger, his year, his class ring that Milton and I paid for. Someone brought in my son's class ring to Milton to sell it.
Right.
You know, and Milton basically said, I'm not going to give you any money and I'm not giving you the ring. This is my son's ring. And they ran out of the shop. So I literally called my son. I was like, Aaron, where's your class ring? Because we spent a lot of money for gold.
Gambling.
And he was like, in my glove compartment in my truck. Why? I said, go look. He's like, it's not there. I said, I know, because someone just brought it in.
I get a violation for gambling.
I mean,
I ain't said nothing about gambling. I'm sitting there playing the game.
sorry.
You're right. I want you following.
Investigators continued to work on the leads provided by Angel. Detectives went to Walmart to check the surveillance footage to see if Isaac was there at the time of the murder, as he said. He was not found on any footage, and none of the transactions led back to him. With Isaac's alibi in shambles, authorities had enough probable cause to search his home. On August 8th, when the police arrived with a warrant, they learned from Isaac's wife that he had left the state. Isaac's wife did not know about his connection to Angel and could not verify his whereabouts on the night of Milton's murder. She cooperated and said he visited his home state of Oregon to see his mother. With Isaac as a person of interest, they found it suspicious that he went across the country in the middle of a homicide investigation. Despite Isaac's departure, detectives searched his home and vehicle but came up empty-handed. Not long after, Angel alerts detectives to phone calls and messages she had received from Isaac via Facebook. Angel handed the phone over and allowed them to look at the messages from Isaac Melcher. While going through Angel's messages, detectives noticed another message thread with the name Isaac Dustin. They knew Isaac's middle name was Dustin, so they also checked those messages. In the thread, Isaac addressed Angel as Love and talked about buying her something. The investigator returned the phone to Angel and said, "Hey, can you tell me what this message is?" And she deleted the message thread right in front of them. If she wasn't under suspicion before, she was now. Detectives wondered what other secrets Angel was keeping. They obtained a warrant for Angel's cell phone records. As they combed through her phone records, detectives received a call that proved explosive. A man by the name of Louis Casimir was calling from Oregon. He claimed to have information about the Milton Sawyer case. Louis said Isaac Melcher had just visited him. Louis had a long history with Isaac, dating back 20 years when he was Isaac's youth leader at church. Isaac was part of a group of teenage boys with behavioral issues.